There are two major conditions for sexual activity to take place. Number one, intention to engage in it, either from the boy or from the girl. There must be an intention for one of them to engage in it. The second one is an enabling environment. If the environment allows it, then it's going to happen. What am I saying? We are human. It is only animals you see make out, on the streets. But for human, it has to be in a secret place, in a place, free from other people, except of course those who are high on drug or those who are acting and all that. But for the real thing, it has to be in a place that allows it to happen, right? My point is, no matter how the boy desires it, no matter how the girl desires it, if there is no enabling environment, if the environment, does not allow that to happen, it's not going to happen. This reminded me of our father in the Lord, Daddy Adeboye. He said that in his office, I think whenever he has a female visitor, he always ensures that his office door is widely open, right? So imagine a man of 80 years plus saying that. How much more you, a teenager? So you must ensure that there is no enabling environment for it to take place. If you have chosen to embrace a life of sexual purity, you need to ensure that you do not provide the opportunity for it to happen. It is not our idea that say, go, okay, God, put this urge in us, put this feeling in us. No. And God made it that we have control, that these feelings do not have control over us. So that is why you are looking for an enabling environment, that you're not just going on the street and you see a girl and the next thing you want to, start doing it right there in public. So for you to be able to plan, to ensure that you have the right environment, it means that you have control. To avoid sex as a teenager, it means that you must avoid the things that lead to it. You must avoid the things that lead to it. We have established the fact that it's not something that can happen just anywhere. No. There are conditions, right? So it means that you must avoid the things that will lead to it. Number one we mentioned is the intention. So when that urge is coming, something is fueling it. Something is fueling that intention. As much as we know you are growing, your hormones, can play a fast one on you, but it can be short term if you have not polluted your mind, right? The urge can be short term if you have not exposed yourself overly to inappropriate, videos. When the intention comes, when the urge comes, know that you have control over it. And then ensure that you do not provide an enabling environment. What do I mean? Do not stay in a closed environment with the opposite sex alone, with the opposite sex in a room, with the opposite sex in a secluded environment. Because by the time you do that, take for instance, you are the boy, she is just my friend, we are not doing anything, you go to the library to go and read, you look for a place, a cozy place that is not visible to everybody that comes to the library. They are there, she is touching, is patting, you are locking eyes. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. And you need to understand that you don't need for the whole house to be empty, right? I'm telling you this for you to be prepared, for you not to fall victim of it, because the Bible says that we should not be ignorant of the devices of the devil. So you should not be ignorant of the things that you need to know, right? So I said, when the urge or the intention comes, bury it. You have control over it. The second one we are talking about is that do not provide the enabling environment. Do not stay with the opposite sex in a closed environment alone. Ensure that there are others there. Do not engage in dating as a teenager, because Dating are for adults, people who are matured enough to get married, looking forward to probably get married in future. But you as a teenager, you still have your whole life ahead of you. You still have a lot of, you still have your work, your job, your everything to deal with. So engaging in dating or romantic relationship now, for me, is a distraction, right? So for a teenager who has embraced sexual purity, we want to avoid dating, we want to avoid unnecessary touches. Unnecessary touches, we want to avoid it. We want to avoid kissing. We want to avoid cuddling. The boy just coming, just always patting you, touching your nose, touching your mouth, touching your laps. All those things can be soothing. We'll talk more on that when we are talking about knowing your body, right? So, my message to you today is that if you don't want the fire, do not fan the flame. If you don't want the fire, do not fan the flame. When that body is just touching you, just patting you in the presence of everybody, rubbing your thighs and all that, it is like you are putting a jerry can of petrol, you know, around you, and you are striking a match. It's just a matter of just put it closer enough, and then there will be fire. So just that putting it closer is for you to just get that enabling environment, and you will be so vulnerable, you wouldn't know what happened until you have engaged in it, right? So that is why I'm giving you this information today. That's because I made up my mind that I'm not going to leave any stone untouched, because the Bible even says that my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge, right? So it is very, very important that you have this knowledge, that for you to embrace sexual purity is for you to avoid the things that can lead to it. And those are the things that we are talking about today. As a way of recap, I said intention, the urge will come, intention, bury them as soon as they come. You have control over it. God did not create all the feelings to have control over you. No, you have control. Number two, enabling environment. Ensure that you do not put yourself in an environment where it can take place. And that place is where there is nobody. That is just you and that boy. That is just you and that girl. And it could be just anywhere, as long as you believe that nobody is seeing you. Why? That is that avoid dating. Avoid dating, because by the time you start dating, we're just friends, we're not doing anything. It is a matter of time. When you have that enabling environment, it is a matter of time. Then avoid cuddling, avoid unnecessary touching, right? Avoid staying in a secluded place with the opposite sex, even with the same sex, because it is crazy with the things we are hearing, the things we are discussing now, even though it is not new, it has been right from the day of the Bible. Even with the opposite sex, ensure that you have boundaries. Even when you are alone with your friend, who is your girl, a fellow, same gender with you, ensure that there are boundaries. Be very, very at alert. Someone you don't, that they have someone with questionable characters. You want to be careful when you are with them alone. So, as we wrap up on today's edition of Path to Sexual Purity, tell me in the comment section, what is your take home lesson for today? Bye. See you tomorrow. Do not miss tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be talking about something very, very interesting, talking about your body, talking about knowing how your body works. This will help you to make informed decisions about your body. See you tomorrow. Bye.